Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new Cult Movie Tuesday right here on Night Owl Video. Today I am talking about Jack Black in the film Nacho Libre. Nacho! If you've seen this movie, you'll get that reference. So today we'll be talking about this movie, production, cast, critical response, my thoughts on the film, where you can watch it, and all that jazz. So I hope you will stick around. Thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. Like I mentioned in previous videos, I am working on my favorite cover art of physical media, so that video will be coming up. I need to figure out what the title of that is. If you have any good suggestions, leave it in the comments below. But today, we are talking about the one and only Nacho Libre. This is a comedy from 2006. It was directed by Jared and Jerusha Hess, who also did, of course, the wonderful film Napoleon Dynamite, as well as Gentlemen Broncos, which I've only seen once. I do kind of want to rewatch that because I don't remember liking it as much as this and Napoleon, but I think it did have some charm. I think it had the guy from Flight of the Conchords in it, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But this was a staple around my house back in 2006. My son loved this movie, so as did I. And my partner at the time, and we used to watch this movie all the time. It's just such a cool little movie. So anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. Of course, this movie stars Jack Black. He's right there. There's a great picture of him on the back too. I don't know if you can see that, but he's flying through the air doing his big kick. So Jack Black, of course, was in School of Rock, Mars Attacks, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. He was the stoner guy in that movie, as some of you may or may not remember. He also does the voice of Po in the Kung Fu Panda movies, and he was also in the remake of King Kong from 2005, just a year before he made this, from Peter Jackson, which I thought he did a pretty good job. This also stars Hector Jimenez, who was in Gentlemen Broncos, as well as Sharktopus. And this also stars Ana de la Regura, who was in Cowboys and Aliens, and the Zack Snyder Netflix film Army of the Dead. So I actually just rewatched Army of the Dead the other day. I don't know. I was in a weird mode. Don't judge me. But yeah, I was like watching it, and I'm seeing this Ana de la Regura in the movie, and I'm thinking, where do I know this actress from? And then I realized, oh, she was from Nacho Libre. The synopsis for Nacho Libre is Ignacio, played by Jack Black, or Nacho to his friends, works as a cook in the Mexican monastery where he grew up. The monastery is home to a house of orphans which Nacho cares for deeply, but there is not much money to feed them properly. Nacho decides to raise money for the children by moonlighting as a lucha libre wrestler, and his partner Esquelito, played by Hector Jimenez. But since the church forbids luchadors, Nacho must disguise his identity. So this is Jack Black going out at night and wrestling in these wrestling matches, and then by day coming home and making food for the children at the monastery. So I did not know this until I did my research, but this film is allegedly loosely based on the life of a person named Fray Tormenta, Friar Storm, aka Reverend Sergio Gutierrez Benitez, a real-life Mexican Catholic priest who had a 23-year career as a masked luchador to support the orphanage he directed. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that all these years. I thought it was just like a made-up story, but it's actually like loosely based on this real-life story. So I thought that was interesting. The film grossed $99.3 million at the worldwide box office against a budget of $35 million. So it did fairly well. Jack Black was really in his prime here, I think. He was, Pick of Destiny and School of Rock, and a lot of these things were right in around that time, and I think he was really like on fire. And so people just wanted more Jack Black then. I mean, we always want more Jack Black, but then, he was, like I said, he was really busting out and becoming famous. Jack Black was a fan of the film Napoleon Dynamite from 2004 and its director, Jared Hess, and the two met in Los Angeles to discuss collaborating. So the but the end product of that conversation was, of course, Nacho Libre. The song that there's a song in the film that Jack Black has to improvise. The song that Jack Black sings at the party was completely improvised. Jared Hess admitted that he didn't have time to come up with lyrics, so Jack quickly replied, "Leave it to me. I already got one." So, and then if you see the movie, of course, you know Jack Black makes up this song on the spot, and it's charming, but it's awful. But it just makes you laugh because it's so funny. Apparently, he just improvised that right on the spot. I couldn't tell. I mean, I thought that was like part of the script. While filming a wrestling scene, apparently Jack Black jumped from the ring and struck his head on a chair. This caused a black eye and a gash above his right eye, which needed stitches. I think that I'm trying to remember if I wrote that in my notes, but yeah, it caused the filming to cease for or go on delay for 3 months while he healed, apparently. I think that was the thing, yeah. No, this is a different thing. During the filming, Nacho Libre, Jack Black, challenged a true warrior named Francisco Daniel Dominguez from San Antonio, Texas, as part of a promotional event. During the challenge, Francisco did a triple tornado kick, which landed on Jack Black's face, causing a 3-month delay in filming. So, all that said, Jack Black took some punishment during filming of this movie. As promotional tactics, thousands of free Nacho Libre masks were given out at movie theaters and selected wrestling shows. Man, I would love to get one of those masks. That is so cool. Is there a picture of him wearing his mask? No. I guess there's no picture of him wearing his mask, but yeah, apparently they gave out the masks at the theater as a promotional thing. So yeah, that was. I mean, I would love to get a hold of one of those. I don't know. They're probably like $1 million on eBay or something. But so this movie only has a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. I guess maybe it's just too kind of out of left field, much like Napoleon Dynamite. I think maybe some mainstream critics and fans just aren't sure what to make of that brand of comedy. It really speaks to me. I loved Napoleon Dynamite when it came out, and when, like I said, when this one came out, I was all in as well. It does have kind of a funny sense of humor that I think maybe is not everybody's cup of tea. Critics gave the film mixed reviews. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times wrote, quote, It takes some doing to make a Jack Black comedy that doesn't work, but Nacho Libre does it," unquote. Mick LaSalle of the San Francisco Chronicle thought the comedy was, quote, "hit and miss with good bits interrupted by dead patches," unquote. Manola Dargis of the New York Times gave it a positive review and called it, quote unquote, endearingly ridiculous. My thoughts on this film, and I would totally agree with that person from the New York Times, endearingly ridiculous. You kind of have to just turn your brain off for these kinds of movies and just roll with it and enjoy the humor for what it is. The Hess brothers, their sort of attempts at dark comedy, like I said, they aren't for everybody. It is a little out there at times. But Jack Black is so fun and lovable in this film. The wrestling scenes are exciting. Some of the lines, too, that Jack Black says. So there is a scene where him and his partner Esquilito are fighting this other wrestler. And, you know, Jack Black's character gets so into it, he rips his shirt. And, you know, it's so funny. And then later on, after the match, when they're talking, you know, he's like, "Oh, do you think it was too much when I ripped my blouse?" You know, so it's got all these really like funny, awkward things in it. But yeah, I thought it was just really, really charming. The moral of the story, of course, which is so wholesome, and then of course knowing that this is loosely based on a true story, almost makes it more charming. It's just a good story. And like I said, my son loved this movie. He was probably only about 6 or 7 when it came out. and I was comfortable letting him watch it, like there wasn't anything in it. There was one scene where they threw a corn cob and it went into a guy's eye, like right into his eye socket. That was a little intense, but I mean, overall, the comedy's fairly light. And Jack Black is just, like I said, he's so funny. He's got this little revving up like scooter vehicle thing that he drives on, and he tries to act all tough revving it and stuff, and but it's just not tough at all. And so it just, I don't know, if you're like me, like that kind of humor, it just cracks me up. It's just so funny. So this edition, now this was funny because I had not watched this movie for a long time, probably like over 10 years. And I always saw this movie when I went out thrifting at the charity shops. And then when I was like, oh, I'd really love to rewatch Nacho Libre. It wasn't on any streaming services, and when I went looking at the charity shops, I could not find it anywhere. And then I was on this mad hunt for weeks trying to find it. I did find this one. I think this, by the stickers, it's an ex-rental, but it was in okay condition, playable. Somebody ripped off the tabs, so whoever did that, thank you for that. As some of you know, they at some point in DVD history, they started putting these little annoying tabs to lock the case, but so yeah, I did eventually find a copy, and you know, happy to rewatch it. And actually, like I said, I'm thinking this is probably more like 15 years since I had watched it, and I put it on and I was just right back into it. I was laughing and enjoying this movie right away. It is just so much fun. If you love Jack Black, if you like that offbeat comedy, like you know, Napoleon Dynamite, Juno, Little Miss Sunshine, all those movies that came out around that time that were those like almost like quirky indie comedy things. This was right in there, and you know, it's got that kind of quirky offbeat sense of humor. I just love this movie. This edition, like I said, this is the I don't know what year this is from. I'm gonna say 2008 Paramount Pictures. It's a Region 1 DVD from Paramount Pictures, and Nickelodeon was also a partner in the production of this film. This is rated PG in Canada for violence, crude content, not recommended for young children, but you know, I think probably 6-7 years old and up, this would appeal to kids as well. This is a widescreen one. It's 92 minutes long, perfect color, 2006. The special features on here are audio commentary with Jack Black, Jared Hess, and Mike White. Nacho Libre comic book creator, deleted scenes, photo gallery, Jack sings, 5 behind the scenes featurettes, and much more. So for a 2008 DVD, this is pretty stacked with special features. Yeah, just really, really fun. I'll show you the back there a bit too. There's some scenes from the movie. That's the actress I was saying is in Army of the Dead. And there's the big guy there. I forget his name now. But they sort of like look up to this guy. He's like the top wrestler there. So him and Esquilito want to be like him, but then he turns out to be not such a nice guy in the end. But won't give away too much there. The inside, very basic disc art, nothing to write home about. But yeah, he's Nacho. He's Nacho average hero, it says. Joe Siegel of Good Morning America says, if you love Jack Black, you'll love Nacho Libre. And yeah, Jack Black is all over this. This is his, you know, he's in charge, and you're just watching for what funny stuff he's going to do in this. So right down to like making the homemade costume and everything. The stretchy pants. You can currently rent this on Apple TV, Google Play, and Amazon Prime. And like I said, usually you can find this out in the thrift shop, so they're not too hard to come across. I think a lot of people bought this when it came out on DVD, and then, I don't know, got rid of it. But the weird thing is, and this isn't a perfect example of like why you should keep your DVDs and stuff, I couldn't find this streaming anywhere on any of the platforms, anywhere. So, you know, it's kind of frustrating when you can't find something that you want to watch. So hold on to your DVDs because, hey, if it's in your closet or on your shelf and you feel like watching it, you can just pick it up and put it on. That's my thoughts on Nacho Libre. I love this movie. I feel like I could talk about it for a lot longer, but I'll leave it at that. Let me know what you thought about Nacho Libre. Was it your brand of humor, or did you find it distressing? Leave your comments below. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. Maybe I'll see you in the ring fighting Nacho. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.